Hi, my name's Will, and I'm going to introduce our skills training program for the basketball layup. After that, Alysha and Luke are going to take you through the motor control theories underpinning our program and show you how we integrated those theories and concepts into our 6-week training program. The basketball layup is one of the most useful skills and components of a basketball game, and once mastered can assist in improving the scoring rate of athletes. Here we're just going to break down and classify the skill, demonstrate how we measure it, go through the stages of learning, and some retention and transfer tests. The basketball layup is classified one-dimensionally as gross, discrete, and open. Gross, as it utilizes large muscle groups to execute a whole body movement. Discrete, as the movement has a distinct beginning with the first step and end with the shot. And open, owing primarily to the unstable environment and its effect on the skill. To take that a little bit further, Gentile's taxonomy classifies the skill as a class 4D movement due to the involvement of body transport as you move across the court and object manipulation with the ball, as well as the changing environment where your position, opponents, and teammates may all affect the execution of the skill. The 5 key components we considered for the successful layup were planting the right foot and driving the left, a low and balanced body stance going into the movement, holding the ball close to the body, keeping the eyes on the target, and keeping both hands supporting the ball until the ball release or the shot. We measured the layup both qualitatively and quantitatively. In terms of quantitative measurement, we simply recorded the amount of successful shots made in a series of 10. Our pretest required the participant to attempt 10 right-handed layups and 10 left-handed layups, and we recorded their success rate. Qualitatively, we reviewed that performance and then scored each of our 5 key components in a range from 1 being the lowest to 5 being the highest. After our 6-week training program, it is expected that the novice participant will have progressed from the cognitive stage, in which the learner is still making large errors and exploring the skill, through the associative stage, in which the skill starts to become more automatic and the participant explores variables affecting the skill, but may not completely reach the autonomous stage, in which the skill would be automatic and only require minor adjustments to master. In order to measure retention, in which we try to observe how well the skill has been retained after a period of non-training, we replicated the pre-test conditions and compared the results. To measure transfer, in which we looked at how well the learner can adapt the skill to new conditions, the player was required to perform the layup in a game-like setting that involved dribbling, passing, and catching prior to making the shot. Now that we've broken down the skill and considered how we might measure and test it, we're going to take you through some of the important elements of the skills training program.
Demonstrations of the skill were provided prior to the commencement of training. This included watching videos of experts performing the skill, as well as using the coaches to demonstrate new skills and movements throughout the program. Positive transfer can assist in learning skilled movements by associating previously learned movement patterns with the skill you are attempting to learn. Learners can be encouraged to think about movements they have performed before that might be similar or beneficial in learning the new skill. For example, running, jumping, and catching skills are common across many sports. As running is a common movement pattern, previous experience in this task may transfer well to drills that incorporate running with another component, such as dribbling. Verbal cues were established early in the training program to assist the learner to focus on the key components of the skill quickly and repeatedly. Some verbal cues we used were eyes on the target, drive with your right foot, and ball close to the body. These assist the learner in making quick corrections to the movement pattern during execution, or can be used to give feedback that the learner can easily put into practice next time. Feedback was provided after the performance of the skill, with knowledge of performance in which we focused on the movement pattern, not the results, being the key aspect of feedback. The guidance hypothesis suggests that feedback is most useful early on, but can be detrimental if it becomes relied upon. Accordingly, feedback was used heavily during the first weeks of the program and was then tapered off as the learner became more skilled. This has the dual benefit of allowing the learner to construct intrinsic patterns and not rely on feedback, as well as avoiding the learner overcorrecting themselves or making maladaptive corrections once they've become more skilled.
Literature suggests that dividing a complete skill into parts makes the skill easier to learn. For this reason, a segmented approach was used in which we divided the skill into smaller sections for practice, which could then be chained together in order to practice the skill. Here is a drill from week 1, where the player first practices the stationary shot before adding more complex components, e.g. stepping into the movement. In order to avoid overlearning, the training program included distributed practice sessions with 3 lots of 30-minute sessions per week. The use of shorter, more frequent training sessions is beneficial to both attention and memory considerations for the player in that it reduces the amount of information that is to be taken in and processed per session. Further to this, the use of a variety of practice tools such as imagery and mental practice, where the player is asked to imagine where the ball is going to travel, not only helps ready the player both physically and mentally, it helps us break up the sessions. The combined use of imagery, demonstrations and short verbal cues has also shown to be important in maintaining a learner's attention. In order to maintain motivation, 1 session per week involved a small competition whereby the player was awarded a ranking based on their performance, with the incentive being to move up a rank as their skill progressed. Positive feedback provided at the end of some of the drills was included. This feedback was aimed at improving self-efficacy.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We're just going to leave you with some footage of our learner practicing some of the drills from our program.